Hi, my name is Stephanie Gregg, and I'm the instructional coach at Midwest City High School. And I'm here to tell you about our school's intervention team. And I want to start off by telling you the reason. The reason we started our intervention team was about 2 years ago, and it was in April, when myself and one of our counselors met a young man that was really struggling. He'd lost a sibling, a parent, and a grandparent, all within a few years of each other. His father was incarcerated, and he was being raised by a great grandparent. We learned that the student was struggling with those issues as well as a variety of others, and that is why his grades were so low. When I reached out to his teachers, I found out that they didn't know this information, and that wasn't any fault of their own. This was a student that was hard to talk to. That was hard to get information from. He wasn't real open. And so when we realized that he wasn't the only one in our school that was struggling and that we were missing, and not at anyone's fault, but just because there's over 1,000 students and we didn't have something that was narrowing in and finding and focusing on those students. And so what we started was the intervention team. And so I worked with Dr. Broyles and Ms. Berger at the time to develop something that would provide our students with some interventions that they need to be successful. And that is how we started our intervention team. And this is the second year that we're doing it. Our intervention team's mission statement is to identify, meet with, and intervene for students who are at risk of long-term suspension, dropping out of high school, or failure due to academics, attendance, discipline, and or other traumatic factors. These are our Tier 3 students. The students that really are struggling. Students are failing 3 or more classes. They're absent more than 7 times in a semester. They have discipline issues that are sending them to ISR. They're sending them to be suspended. These are the students that are really struggling to make it in a traditional high school setting. And we strive to determine and monitor appropriate interventions that will help students build a better foundation of success while in high school, and arrange for other professional interventions as needed. And it's important that you know our mission and how we work together to get it. So who's on our team? Well, FERPA, of course, is important. And so we keep our team small so that we can provide those interventions for our students legally, as well as in a way that provides for them. So who meets weekly is myself. I'm the instructional coach. And then we have 3 to 4 classroom teachers. This semester, it's 3 classroom teachers that have a focus hour. And that is an extra hour that they have in the day to spend on meeting the needs of these students. And our associate members, these are the members that obviously work with us all the time, is our head principal, Ms. Berger. She has the final decision on everything that we do. Our admin team, our counselor team, our SPED chair, and of course, our students' parents. So that's who works on this team to create these plans for our students. So what do we do to help our students? The first thing we do is we build that relationship. We meet with our kids. We talk to them. We get to know them. We even have a special interview form we can give them and ask them to answer some questions so we can help get to know them. And we ask them, what's worked? When you've been in the classroom before and you've done really well, why do you think that was? And most of the time they have great answers for that. We identify resources and interventions to help them succeed, whether that's academically or coming to school on time or whatever that is, getting along with their teachers, respecting adults. We help them if they need tutoring. Sometimes those tutors are us. Sometimes those tutors are NHS tutors. Sometimes we might work through the Gear Up program. And we celebrate those small wins. And we try to find ways we can do that. We get donations from our community. We have snow cone coupons and taco bucks, but we also try to be creative. I had a student before that really was into basketball, and we had one of our former students who graduated and was playing basketball at the collegiate level, and he came back for a day and met with that student, and they played a game of pickup ball during lunch, and that made a real impact on that student. And of course, we also move that student on up. If they're having an issue that we can't help, maybe they need professional counseling, or they need DHS, or they just need their school counselor, or if it's a SPED or a 504 issue, we refer them to the place that they need to go to find that help. And so what are some of our interventions that we give our students? I could talk about this for a long time. But some of our team interventions that we do that students might even necessarily know that have happened is schedule changes or parent contacts. We meet with the teachers sometimes as a team and just discuss what's working in your classroom, what's not working in your classroom, and try to help the student that way. A typical drag sheet, that sometimes they have to take and find out all the classes, what are you missing? And then we call home and say, hey, this is coming home to you, so you have it. We meet weekly and bi-weekly with our team members. And so I have a group of students, and each member on the team that meets weekly has a group of students that we meet with. And every 2 weeks when we meet with them is when we collect our data for our data points that we're collecting to see, so we can show the growth of our students. We also have an advisory hour in PowerSchool so that we can see our students' grades. We can see their schedules. We can log anytime we have interactions with the student. And that also gives us a Canvas course where we can meet with them and talk with them on Canvas. So during these virtual days, we've been meeting and talking with them through that form as well. And then we also provide this form that you see here, our student interventions for teachers. It's very much like an accommodation sheet that they might receive for SPED. That we provide them that might help your student in that classroom, assigning them a classroom job, making them have some ownership, calling home as soon as they're failing. Don't wait even a minute. Like as soon as that gets to a 59.5, please call home. We need to know. And all those different things. We have lots of interventions, and I'd be willing to share that with you if you're interested. One thing that we've found is really helpful for some of our students that are at a greater need for behavioral interventions is a calm down pass. This pass allows them to step on the hall and calm down. And then if it's a greater need where they're really having a moment, they might be able to go to another place in the school where they feel safe so that they can calm down, whether that be the counseling office, the principal that they feel comfortable with, another teacher. They're able to go there and calm down, and then they go back to the class and they're able to come back in. This is a way we try to keep students from staying out of trouble. We give them this tool and say, take a moment, leave, and then when you come back, we can deal with it there. And our students that utilize it really well. We've only had one so far that has used it as a free-for-all, and it was taken away from him. And so I'm really happy with the success of this. So this is a really quick introduction to our intervention team. But one thing that Erin Rennick said, which when I was talking to her about the intervention team, which really meant a lot to me, was she said, now they stand a chance. That we as a school are providing them with the things that they need so they can be successful in the high school setting. And a lot of times we're meeting with 9th and 10th graders. Once they're juniors and seniors, they're kind of getting it. But those 9th and 10th grade years are really good transition years. And we want to give every student a chance to graduate as a bomber. Thank you.